Whew, it's starting to warm up now. 28, nearly 30 degrees in here. I've managed to repair this fire extinguisher pickup tube. Ran a bit of black poly pipe that's tight fitting inside this pipe here. Ran some strong glue in there, super glue. Sealed it all up, twisted it evenly and lined it all up so it forms a good strong solid seal on there. And that's fixed. Now I can fill this thing up with water and start using it again. You've got to have a fire extinguisher in the man cave. Not the right type for my experiments involving electricity, but I can always unplug safety first before I use this. Anyway, let's fill it up. All refilled, recharged, ready to go. There's a plastic piece of pipe in there goes down to about here. On the pickup tube inside this neck, there's a plastic pipe stuck inside this neck, goes down to about here. Now I think that's the guide. Once the water starts to touch that, stop. That's 9.1 litres, but I went up to about here, about halfway up that plastic pipe. And then a little bit of a test shot, and it goes from here to that first green pine post away, which is about a good 1, 2, 3. I think a good 9 metres easily it shoots. Nice jet of water. So this thing's charged, ready to go. Well, I think 9.1 litre marks at the bottom of that plastic pipe inside the neck in this bottle. Little plastic tank, a good stainless steel tank. Anyway, stick that in the corner. So that's my safety, more safety first key. That's there for safety first reasons. Best to put it there, set it there. There I can get to it, it's in a good spot. Oh, that's all safety first. No leaks, it's all good. Yeah, always try to pick those up whenever you can. They're bloody handy to have, I tell you. Yeah, I've done the more tests of this amp on this power supply. It's definitely more happier. And I've discovered that the pin, this needs a bigger positive centre tip pin in this sockets of these plugs. And this amp has a smaller one, a smaller centre tip pin, which is used a 9 volt and lower voltage wall warts. Now I find the pins with my 12 volt wall warts are too, the centre tip's too big, it only fits in a certain way, and if I bump it a certain way, the amplifier doesn't power on, it trips out. So that pin is a bit too small for some of my 12 volt wall warts to clip into there. It makes a good contact, but it's not a solid grip on that centre pin. It's a bit touchy. Just something to be aware of when you get one of these amps. Find the right pin that fits in that socket. That's typical of Lepai. Everything's spot right and everything else but this. Speaker impedance. I forgot the E. Speaker impedance. That is funny. Bit of Chinglish there. It's supposed to be impedance, but it's impedance or impedance. I wanted to pull this apart initially. I didn't have the right tools, so I used a pair of pliers. I couldn't get these bolts undone all the way. What I wanted to do, I wanted to get to the amplifier chip and put some fresh heatsink compound on it. Because I know that these cheap amps, they don't normally put a lot of heatsink compound on the chips, and they overheat, and they distort easier and trip out a lot easier. So it's best to advice if you're get one of these, just do a good little check, pre-operational check so to speak. And if there's no heatsink compound or very little heatsink compound on the power amplifier chip, put some on there. It will do it a lot of good. I did that in my little LP838 and boy, it improved its performance quite well. Anyway, nothing really much else I want to do in here today. It's bloody hot, too hot. Typical summer, it's getting too hot to do stuff now. Anyway, that'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching.